Yes, yes, yes. We're here, we're here, we're here. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for allowing us to come in because we were patiently waiting. And we know you have lots of other things you need to do to be able to help and be of service. But this is what we need you to be doing as well, to be able to help us to be able to get our messages across. And so it is not a coincidence that you have been reminded many occasions to be able to bring in the two beings that you know who would like to come back in to physical bodies to be able to share their messages, to connect and communicate with each other and to all who listen. We know that we know you initially resisted and dismissed the idea as if it was your own. We say to you with much love, as we could energetically roll our eyes. It is not a coincidence. And we brought the two channelers together to be able to do this mission, this purpose, this connection. It is generic opportunity, you think. And that's why you dismissed it, but it is purposeful and significant. You must channel Mary, and he must channel Jesus. And this is awkward for you because you know that people are going to judge. And we say to you, since when truly have you cared what people think? They have their rights to judge, but for those who need to hear their messages, to hear their perspectives, this will be helpful. You are noticing that her energy has been coming into you more strongly, and this is why your hands do feel more hot when you think of certain people. And this is important for you to send that energy to them because they are distracting themselves with doing their own inner work. And there is energy that can be absorbed and transmuted from them, off them. Those are the people that need to have more help, as they are the keys. And we also wanted to make you be reminded of Kurt Cobain's message to you and to all. And it was another important message while he was speaking for himself through that channel. That message, it is still true today. And he spoke for many of us while he was sharing his personal account of his life. It is still significant for you all to hear it and apply the wisdom and information. His integrity and his message is important to hear for all, regardless of whether you appreciated his music or not. It is about respecting all life contracts, respecting all roles who are here and who have been here. And so getting back to the bigger names that are known, we are needing this from you. And you know this. And so these connections are being made. And so we are sharing with you that this is more significant than you may assume. And so you can relax into it, knowing that they want to embody as their consciousnesses of their 3D versions of selves that lifetime. And so they want to communicate with each other again. They want to speak freely again. They do not want to be having others mansplain their integrity, their intentions, their life purposes, and also how they felt as they were living those roles. They want to speak for themselves, and they will. And they are very grateful for the opportunity to be able to do that, because they need to remind people that they were also people And many walking this planet now have had the same other experiences off planet, have the same experiences on planet, and have the same purpose and mission to empower and inspire each other, to love each other, to be supportive of each other's journeys while you're having these lifetimes now, and to work through your pain, emotional pain that you choose to carry, to be able to have forgiveness on your heart, forgiveness of yourself and forgiveness of others, and to trust that there is a higher dimensional being, but we say beings, who you can have faith and trust on, so you can just enjoy your life experiences with love in the 3D versus being so vulnerable, so afraid, and feeling so alone. We know that there are many leaders here who are not trying to create empires of leadership, followers, and worshippers. We see that there are many genuine people who are wanting to inspire and empower and help guide others to heal themselves. And those people are being strongly activated into their frequency of healing, frequency of being compassionate, loving beings, a frequency of disarmament for others, to be able to have full trust in others, to share, to express, and to have the opportunities to learn their own epiphanies, to see their own behaviors, reactions, to be able to rethink this now with a more mature approach, to heal, to release, to let go. And when you can heal and release and let go of your past dramas, you can do that also mentally and physically. And it is significant times, as we are all needing you to be more responsible for your energy that you are either holding on to or sharing. We say, from our perspective, it would be easier for you to release all density, release all limited perspectives and mindsets, to have full trust, to have full faith, to have the biggest range of capacity of being a pure, loving being with no conditions, no assumptions, no hidden agendas from others, to be pure, to be accepting, to be. And we say to be with inner peace, to be with inner strength, to be with inner wisdom is a wonderful way to go with grace and joy through your life contract. But we say you must be able to connect in with others. You must be of service to others. And if you are not able to have true balance and inner peace, you will not be able to do that as easily. It will be too consuming for you, too draining for you. And so we say, keep going, keep practicing, keep being of service, keep at it, keep loving, keep releasing, keep loving, keep releasing, keep loving, keep releasing. And we say, breathe in with love and breathe out through density. Breathe out the density. Imagine this, if you will, breathing in higher frequency vibrations, and then breathing out that density that no longer serves you. Breathing and having upliftment of breath, and then releasing the density that is within you. And while we say breathe in the higher level of frequency that you are gaining with each conscious breath, you're also absorbing the density from others, which then you can exhale through you. Be mindful of this. This will help you ground. We say that you feel so shocking sometimes with the trauma, with the hurt, the pain, the tragedies, the aggression, the densities of emotions, that you breathe in that trauma. You can't express the trauma, so you block the throat and you inhale the trauma energetically into the body, and it gets stuck in the lungs. And so we want to equalize the lungs. So when you breathe out the density, it is purging those lungs, and we're wanting to say squeeze those lungs dry. Squeeze those lungs so tight that there is complete emptiness in the lungs. Focus on purging out and squeezing out all density from the lungs, because your lungs are a filtration and protection, a shock absorber for the heart, your emotional heart. And so when you hear shocking news, you absorb it quickly and you put it into the lungs, because you don't want to absorb into the mind. And so your first initial reaction is to grab that trauma and stick it into the lungs, because you're trying to take it away from the mind. Because once you start thinking about the trauma, the shock, the news, then your mind becomes very active and often very creative with the fear. And you produce so much fear in the mind. But your body knows that you do this. And so when you suck up and absorb that shock first in your body, you are placing it in the lungs. We are saying this is why people get lung cancer who don't smoke, because they're absorbing the trauma and the emotional shock as fast as they can into the body. Your body is an emotional protection vehicle for your life experience. You don't want to feel the pain. You don't want to think the pain. So the lungs are the buffer, the filter, the absorber. Your body doesn't want you to feel energetically the shock, the emotional shock. So it tries to absorb it first through the lungs. Then the mind will pick up and try to analyze and process the event. And then the emotional connections will kick in. But what you have filtrated out of your system is the biggest shock. This is when your adrenaline kicks in. It is significant how your body responds to trauma. But these are the things people do not consider as they are responding. We are saying that the capacity of the lungs, the energetic lungs, the shock absorbers, emotional shock absorbers, can get quite overused. And so when people have upgrades that may look like a cold, it is taking time to purge. When you cough, you're coughing out that density of trauma. It could even look quite infected and nasty, and we say that is often the manifestation of absorbing so much trauma. There is much to be said about this. Oh, we want to say that there is great growth. And we're also saying there is much to be triggering people at this time. When you hear dates of the shift advanced in such a long time frame, that can trigger people into being very angry and frustrated why we have not shifted already, or why it cannot be so soon. And we are saying it could all happen in a second if you all of the beings in humanity release their density and absorb love. It is a choice. Humanity is holding itself back. There it is purposeful why everyone and how everyone is getting triggered to be angry that others aren't stepping up, to be reflecting on their own choices and why they have also purged and potentially held themselves back. But as they are seeing more decline, more control, more manipulation still playing out, it is even harder for them because they are already aware that these things have occurred in the past and they're getting very frustrated that these things continue. The date of 2030 plays in many people's minds, and this is to trigger them. We say, and we will always say, that the shift could happen as soon as humanity was ready. And so if you are holding on to other people's dates, you know the shift has been happening for a long time. Do not be focused on other people's dates. Focus on yourself. Focus on your collective. Focus on your inner work. Do not get distracted by other people's information. And when you cannot hear full, raw sessions being delivered, not by one person, but by dozens of people, then you can know that this is consistent information. Certain influences have their own agenda. Listen to raw sessions. Have your own sessions and listen to raw information. We have said this to you before, and we will say this to you again. Do not be so distracted. Keep your hearts open. Release your lungs from the trauma that you are filtering through, protecting yourself with. Release your throat. Speak for your full truth. Do not dismiss what comes to your throat, to your mind, to your heart when you want to share with others. Do not hold back sharing with others. They will know you are holding back something. And if they feel that you are holding back something, they may worry that it is something about themselves, that something is wrong with them. You must speak your full truth. And even if you are scared to share your own thoughts and feelings about yourself to others, they will not understand it as such. Holding your truth back about what is going on for you will make others around you feel uncomfortable because they want to know what's happening for you. And if they have self-insecurities, they will start eating away at potentially that this is something about them. Being truthful will set you all free. We say this with love.